Okay, this time we're going to take a look at solar study. We're going to look at shades, sun path, and solar studies. So I don't need the first floor view right now. I'm just going to open up my ground floor view, and I also need the 3D view. So I'm just going to close down the first floor view. Now I want both the windows to be open together, so I'm going to press on WT. I'm going to press on it once again. Just select the ground floor first and press WT once again. Okay, now I need to position them where I can see them better, I can understand the solar study better. So I'm just moving them around a bit. Okay, zooming them out a bit. Alright, now I'm going to work on both the views simultaneously because I want to look at both the plan view for solar study as well as the 3D view for solar study, but we have to work on them separately to some extent. So at first we're going to come down here, and from here we have the shadows option. We're going to turn the shadows on. Just one click would do it, and you can see the shades here. I'm going to do the same for the 3D view as well. So we might now have the shadows. Now we're going to work on the sun path, so which is right below the shadows. Just click on it. You'll have several options, which is you have to see the option to see the solar study, which we're going to do a bit later. Then we have the sun settings, and then we can turn on our sun path and turn off our sun path. So I'm just going to turn on the sun path. When you try to turn on the sun path, it's going to prompt you if you don't have any location specified to your project previously. It's going to ask you for a location. So right now I'm going to go with continue with the current settings. Okay, so it has now added the sun path there. So I'm going to do the same for the ground floor view as well. So I'm going to turn on my sun path, continue with the current settings, and then we're going to go to the sun settings for the 3D view first. Once you go to the sun settings, for solar study we have several options. The first one is the still. The still is for a still for the sun to be in a still position. You can see the shade for a still position of the sun. Next up we have the single day solar study, so we get to see the sun's position for the entire day. Then you have the multi-day, and then you have some lighting settings. The lighting settings are actually for the location of the sun, where you want to place the sun exactly. Now we're going to be focusing on the single day, which is what we're going to do. And within the single day you can see some presets. So we have 1 day solar study, we have summer solstice solar study, and then we have winter solstice solar study. So for the summer and the winter, it just means that the sun is going to be closer and further away from the ground level. And then we have the spring and then fall. Alright, and then in settings you have the option to place the location. We have date, time, and we're going to look at those individually right now. So at first we're going to fix up our location. It's right now showing Boston, so I'm just going to click on the 3 dots and I'm going to specify my location. So here you can use the drop down, or you can use the search feature by just typing in your location. So right now I'm in Toronto, so I'm going to use that, Toronto OM. Sorry. Now you press on the search button. Once you press on the search button, you have two options. One is Toronto and then Toronto, Ontario. I'm going to click on Toronto, Ontario. Once we do that, we have the location specified here. So this is the location it is showing us on the map. Now you can zoom in using your mouse scroller on the map as well. And then you can simply click on your location and drag it to any other place you want, and it's going to show you the solar study for that. Now remember, where you place it is going to be the project address, and then it's going to show you the nearest weather station. So the weather station is from where it extracts the information about the rising of the sun and the sunrise and sunset basically. So you can select whichever you want, right? So I'm not selecting one, I'm just going with the basic one that they're going to suggest. Now we click on OK. So we now have the location. We have given the location according to coordinates, but if we want, we can go back. Instead of coordinates, we can just specify Toronto the way we did previously, and select the location for their suggested place. So this is going to be their suggested place, which is basically on the weather station. Click on OK. Now once we have our location set up, we have the ability to choose the date and then the time of the solar study. So let's say if you want to see 1 hour of a solar study for a single day, it's going to be the day you specify the date for, and then you can set the time of that hour. Let's say you want to see it in the noon or in the evening or in the afternoon, whatever you like. But if I turn on the sunrise to sunset, then it's going to show us the entire solar study from sunrise to sunset for this particular date. and it's going to take in the information from that weather station. So here it's showing that for this particular date of this location, the sunrise is going to be at 5:33 a.m. and the sunset is going to be 7 p.m. Okay, and then we have the options to choose our frames, and the frames are actually maintained by the time interval. So the lesser time interval you have, the more frames you will have, and the more time interval you have, the lesser frames you're going to have. So this is something that is coming from video generation. If you have worked with videos before, you understand what frame rate is. So I don't need to explain that too much, but if you have not worked with videos before, you can just search it up on YouTube and learn more about frame rates if you're really into that. If you're really not into that, we can just do a good interval of 15 minutes. So the time interval of 15 minutes usually gives us a good idea, unless you have to go into, let's say, more detailed solar study for your project needs. Alright, so now we have the time interval set up as well. So I'm just going to click on apply, and I'm going to click on OK. Now you can see the sun path, and you can also see the shade, and this is from the sunrise, and that is the sunset. And within the sun path you can see some points there. So those are the hourly intervals, and within those hourly intervals there are some smaller points which are the 15-minute intervals that we have put in. Now we have this sun path placed on our 3D view. What we can do is we can also do it for our ground floor view. Just go there, sun settings, and we're going to go for single day, Toronto, Ontario, sunrise to sunset. Instead of 1 hour, it's going to be 15 minutes. Click on apply. Okay, so you have the sun path here as well. Alright, now let's activate the 3D view, and we're going to take a look at the solar study on the 3D view first. So to take a look at the solar study, we need to go back to our sun path, and from here we're going to click on solar study. Once you click on solar study, it's going to give you a contextual tab. In the tab you have several more options as well. So you have the preview and play. Once I hit play preview, it's going to play the preview of 15 minutes interval of the entire day of that date. And then we also have speed. So if you hover your mouse over the speed option, you can understand better what it is controlling. Then you have sunlight intensity, and then you have shadow intensity, and you have some other settings that you can manually control from here as well, rather than doing it from the sun settings. You can also access the sun settings from here as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play the preview and take a look at the 3D view. Okay. So it is now showing us the sun path and the shadows associated with it for the entire day of that particular date. Now we can do the same if we choose the ground floor. We'll still be here, and we're going to click on play preview, and it is going to give us the preview of the ground floor plan and the shades inside of it. Alright, so that's pretty much basically it for controlling your shadows and also sun path for solar studies. So why you need solar studies, what are the reasons behind it? There are plenty of reasons. So one reason can be energy conservation. There can be, let's say, if you want some solar panels, and there are superstitions as well. So there are some locations in the world where there are some kind of superstitions that if you're building a place of business, then it must, the face of the business, the entrance of the business must see first sunlight. Otherwise it's bad for the business. So there are different kind of reasons why you need to do this. So there are scientific reasons as well as superstitious reasons that your client may need. So if you want to know a little bit more about solar studies and why to do that and what are the results of it, I suggest that you go through the book that I recommended, and it has more information on it. But for now, for our tutorial, this much was it for setting up our sun path and doing the solar study. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you got to learn something new.